Welcome to the Let Your Spirit Guides Speak podcast. I'm Deborah Engel, and I want to thank you so much for joining me today for information about living a happier and more creative life with the help of your personal spirit guides. You can find this podcast and many others at sacredstoriesmedia.com. Also, you'll find my award-winning book, Let Your Spirit Guides Speak, on Amazon, at Barnes & Noble, and at your favorite independent bookstores. And please stop by my website, deborahengel.com, for information about upcoming events and workshops. That's DebraEngle.com. In this series of podcasts, we've talked a lot about ways to connect with your spirit guides, how you can build a relationship with them, how you can check in with them each day to make your life easier and better. As I've planned each of the podcasts, I've asked my own guides for help with the content to make sure that they're all as helpful for you as possible. But today, though, because this is the last in the series of podcasts, I want to turn the entire podcast over to my guides and let them have the final word. So I'm sitting at my computer in my office in Iowa with my hands on the keyboard, ready to listen. And this is what they have asked me to say. We are here with you always, and we say thank you for this opportunity to speak so directly and consciously to your listeners. We honor them and their journey as we do yours, and we feel the emotion of so many dear ones who wish to know their spirit guides with more intimacy and familiarity. They want to laugh with their guides and to cry with them. They want to know that their guides are their confidants and their advisors. And to everyone who has this deep, deep desire, we say how fortunate we are to speak to them and share our hearts with theirs. It may surprise you to know that we feel from the heart just as you do. It's different for us, of course, because we are not so ensnared by the complexity and unpredictability of human emotion. We feel the love that you do, and we also are mightily aware of the pain you feel through loss or heartbreak. We can see the devastating effects these emotions have on you. And while we can't change the fact that you will feel an entire range of human emotions, we can help you experience those emotions with more calm and comfort. We can help you know that on the days when everything looks dark, the light will come again. We can let you know that no matter how alone you feel in the human plane, we will never leave you. And we can let you know that even though loved ones seem to be far away or departed, you will see them again, and you will rejoice at the reunion. For truly, everyone you meet is a teacher for you, and you are a teacher for them. Everyone. We want to spend a moment on this point because it is essential to your understanding. We know how easy it is for you to judge others based on their body or their bank account or their wardrobe. You often set up your life to spend time with those who look much like you do and whose life experiences are the same. But the grocery clerk who helps you, or the beggar on the corner, or the homeless man who comes to the shelter on the other side of town, they are part of you, and you are part of them. You see yourselves as individual identities with discrete bodies and personalities. But if we could describe to you what we see, it is this: one magnificent glowing ball of light in which embers advance and recede. We see you as the human you are, but we also see your connection to all others, to all that is. From this perspective, we see your greatness at every moment, even when you are having your most discouraging days. We encourage you to think of yourself this way, the way we see you, to try to see yourself as we do. Now, at this point, my guides asked me to share this excerpt from Let Your Spirit Guides Speak. They said, "Where we are, of course, there is no worry. There is trust. There is knowledge that all is well. There is peace and contentment. How can that be? Because we know that all our needs are taken care of. We have the ultimate sense of security. Our well-being is not defined by money. We do not develop physical ailments. We are not limited by any beliefs. And so the whole concept of worry is foreign to our territory, although we are very much aware of how it affects all of you on the physical plane. The question then is, how can you experience more of what we experience, even while you're in a body? Because as you know, what we're experiencing is reality, and the worry you're experiencing is not, no matter how real it may seem. Here is what we advise that can work into building the relationship with us. Sit quietly each day for 5 minutes and imagine that you are where we are. Imagine that you are in the non-physical form. This may be difficult for you at first, but with practice it will become easier and certainly a welcome part of your day. This is what you do often during your dreams. You escape the physical and return to the non-physical, which is why the limits of time and space don't apply in your dreams, and things can seem so nonsensical. In your daydreams, the point is not to achieve the nonsensical, but merely the non-physical. Allow yourself to feel what it's like to be transported without a body as your vehicle. Imagine what it feels like to never experience a sneeze or a cough or a dread of cancer. Experience what it feels like to know that there is no money because it's not needed. Everything you want already exists and is available to you simply by thinking about it. So there is no currency except your own focused thoughts. Imagine feeling what it's like to spend, quote, time doing whatever occurs to you at the moment and feeling no sense of irresponsibility or fear that you're not doing what you're supposed to do, that you're not being productive. Imagine having vast libraries of knowledge available to you that you can visit at any time. Imagine that you are so surrounded by people who love you and who know you in the closest ways, so that loneliness is an impossibility. Imagine being able to soar and fly and jump and leap without limitations. Imagine not harboring blame or judgment or anger toward anyone, including yourself, because there is nothing to be angry about, since fear is non-existent. Imagine all these things daily, allowing yourself to fully feel the emotions and sensations of all these things, not just in your body, but in your mind. You will be willingly triggering the higher self part of your mind, engaging the memories of your time here, which you've had repeatedly. You may experience a sense of coming home, of being at ease and surrounded by light and color. What you experience will be unique to you, but by repeating this activity for many days, you will be uplifting your higher self mind and quieting the fear-based ego mind. And that will help you a great deal with worry. Over time, you will be much less reactive to worry because you will default to a feeling in which worry is not even possible. The feeling of worry will become foreign to you, and the feeling that all is well will become a norm. Do this daily. It's the easiest thing in the world. The ego will try to stop you, but do it anyway, and fully enjoy it. At that point, my guides went on with this information. They said, this is not difficult to do, and it will move you beyond the constraints of your body, so you can see through the eyes of spirit, rather than your limited human eyes. When you do this, you start to see how enormous your potential truly is. You see that the only limitations in your life are put there by you. Then, when you ask us for help, we can multiply your desires and clear the path for your joy. This does not mean that you'll never have sadness or grief ever again. Those emotions are part of your human vocabulary, your emotional alphabet. But here is the difference, and it is profound. Imagine trying to feel anger when you understand that everything is working toward your good. Imagine trying to feel loss when you know that nothing can be lost. Imagine trying to feel anxious when you know that nothing can hurt you. Over time, with this consciousness, it becomes harder and harder to live from your ego mind, and you naturally move to the buoyancy and light of your higher self instead. We rejoice as you do this, because there is nothing we love more than to meet your higher self and create with it. It is much like your kindergarten days, when you played in a sandbox without a care in the world. It is pure wonder and liberation from all burden, and it is what you deserve. So come with us. We are waiting for you. Well, those are the words of the guides, and they make my heart open wide with gratitude. And those emotions that they were speaking about, those human emotions that we feel, their words make me feel grateful and emotional too, because they're so big, they're so supportive, they're so far beyond what we know in this physical plane, and they give us comfort in so many ways. I can't tell you all the blessings I've experienced from knowing and working with my guides, and I know that those blessings are there for you too. All you have to do is to sit, listen, and let your spirit guides speak. So I want to finish up today, this podcast and this series of podcasts, with a short guided visualization that you can use to thank your guides. It's actually based on a lesson that my own guides showed me years ago when I was going through a lot of change in my life, and I didn't know which way to go or where to turn. But as we go through the visualization together, I think you'll experience the trust that you can have for your guides, knowing that they're here with you and all is well, and you'll get a sense of how much simpler life can be when you rely on their direction. Now, when that visualization is over, the podcast will be over too. And what I'd like you to do at that point, if you're in a place where you can, as usual, is to get a piece of paper and a pen, or sit down at the computer, or speak into your phone, whatever's convenient, and record anything that came to you through this meditation that you want to hold on to and to capture. These visualizations are very much like dreams, and if much time passes, we can forget the message that they had for us on a conscious level, even though the message will be recorded on a soul level. So it's helpful to write these things down, go back to them, work with them, ask your guides, and keep learning from them. But before we get into the guided visualization, I want to say a huge thank you again for listening. This is the last in my 12-part series of podcasts on letting your spirit guides speak. And I really invite you to listen to them again and again. I hope that every time you do, you gain a new insight or a deeper connection to the spiritual guidance available to you. And if you'd like more information about your spirit guides, please pick up a copy of Let Your Spirit Guides Speak through Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and your independent bookstore. And please be sure to sign up for my newsletter at deborahengel.com so you won't miss any tips or events to help you with your personal growth and expansion. Well, with that, let's move into the meditation. What I'd like you to do is to sit very quietly and start to take in several deep, deep breaths. Close your eyes. Shift around slightly in your seat if you need to get really comfortable and to start feeling more and more relaxed. Take in a deep, deep breath and let it out with a sigh. And if you feel any fear or blockage or fatigue in your body, just breathe into that particular spot, breathing in love and light and healing and exhaling anything that no longer serves you. Making space for a new experience, for openness, and deep, deep relaxation. And now in your mind's eye, see yourself sitting in an empty room. The room has white walls and a white ceiling, and you're sitting on a straight chair in the middle of the room. There are no windows, but there are several doors, and all of them are closed. Know that every door will lead to a new chapter in your life or a significant change. There is no wrong door, but some will lead to paths that are more joyful than others. As you look around at the doors, you may feel a sense of confusion. You may wonder, which one do I choose? Or you may feel curious, wanting to peek and see what's behind each of those doors before you make a decision. But instead, just sit quietly and ask your guides this question: which door will lead to my greatest good? Take a deep breath. And then as you look around you, see that one of the doors is opening. You don't need to do anything to make it open. And you didn't need to do anything to prompt that opening, except simply to ask. As that door opens, know that your guides are on the other side of that door, waiting to walk with you and give you direction on your path. So take a moment to express your gratitude to them. And then see yourself getting up from your chair and walking through the door, knowing that you are guided always. If you ever feel confused or alone, know that you can see yourself back in this room. Know that the guides are with you, and that when you ask, they will open the door that's for your highest good. Life can be that simple because they are with you always. Now take a moment to honor yourself for reaching out and making this connection. And then when you're ready, knowing that you can come back to this place at any time, take in a deep breath, let it out with a sigh. Take in another deep breath, let it out. And then very gently and slowly, and as you're ready, open your eyes, come back to your space, and record anything you'd like to remember from your experience.